reactive. They'll make the Entropiq side feel very uncomfortable. But here we go. Starting on the T side, Entropiq once again on Nuke.
Into the pistol round, Raging. He's going to bring out a CZ75. Not something you see all too often on the CT side in a pistol round, but we'll see if it works out here. He might have a few kills coming his way. As Sugar from the site is going to try and provide a little bit of cover, and he gets a couple, but his teammate going down without anything actually leaves things in a 3-on-3. Decent space for Entropiq to work with here. They do have to recover the bomb, but Poria up towards Heaven could prove to be a bit of a awkward fight. Oh, he gets dinked, but still nails the shot. And he's going to be going for more, and it's a quick clean-up from the AVE side. A pistol round goes their way. And Sugar inside of that site initially. Good kills from him to make that round winnable.
Yeah, Poria does well, actually, I think. Most impressed with him, really, on that one. Poria with the opening shots and managing to get those 2 frags from it as well. After getting dinked inside the site, stays alive amongst all of that. Very impressive work. And now with AVE getting up onto that first round, there will be the 4 spy coming in here from Entropiq. Not really sure whether I'm a fan of this, really, considering as the fact they got the bomb plant. Should, to me, indicate that you save here for a really good buy in the third. But they're going to go for a really good buy here in the second, comparative to what's being brought in by AVE. Of course, 2 M4s, 2 MP9s, and meanwhile, on the flip side of things for Entropiq, they've got 3 Galils and a Scout. So they're matching in kind somewhat here. Entropiq with a lot to do, but decent weaponry to do it.
Yeah, 3 Galils could be enough. But these MP9s are going to prove to be a serious threat from on top of the hook. Could prove to be to find a lot of damage for this CT side. You got Forrester just in towards Squeaky. Could be the first victim to Sugar's MP9, and he will be taken down. Good opener. Entropiq now need to try and find a rebuttal, but right now they're being denied entry wherever they look. Good spam through, though, from Nickelback. Able to catch a refrag through that smoke and even things up. But Sevilla, he's going to look towards the yard. He's going to find a kill himself. And AVE, they keep finding these openings, and now they're just going to extend upon that as well. With Waterfalls, his scout starting to get a little bit of success. Raging's MP9 now makes his move from the hut. And it's all on towards Elian, who can't get anything done. Just like 1 kill found, not really what you want. You need more than from around like that if you're Entropiq.
There's such a huge investment as well, by the way. To only get 1 frag out of that is hugely disappointing. Massively disappointing for Entropiq. I think I'd be expecting more out of it, but as a result now, they're going to have to take themselves down towards the full eco, which should grant AVE a nice 3-0, very rosy start. Of course, those Galils getting dropped over as well really don't help matters for the Entropiq side, because now they've just got more range to fight against, which they wouldn't have initially had with the MP9s. Could have tried to use the Deagle of Lackey to get some early frags with it, but now they're just going to find themselves contested and bested at pretty much all ranges, as a matter of fact. For now, it's just going to be a slow-paced play from Entropiq. I really don't know why. I can't really anticipate they're going to win too much in this round here. I would want to try and get it over with if I were them, just to get into those gun rounds as quick as possible. But I suppose if you can try and work a bomb plant out of this one, then all the better and all the power to you, you know. The bomb plants here are going to be extremely important, extremely potent. That's the way to do it. They'll get you the money potentially for Elian to get onto that AWP right away on the T side. They'll give you the money to potentially get all the utility you need as well with all of those AKs. However, Poria is thinking of denying. Over here towards the B ramp, he's poised, ready, and set in position. Doesn't even find the first shot, unfortunately, though. But he will have a number of Ts, a litany of them, just dropping with he and Sviat just finishing that one off. Lackey is in behind, and that might actually grant safe passage into the site for the bomb to get planted. Crad just needs to run and make sure that Lackey can give him some form of reasonable cover, which is going to be tricky. But with that bomb plant, a whole lot better now. They've got the objective, they've got what they came for, and they're meandering about may just pay off, as Lackey is in a 1-on-3. I don't really think he's got much of a shout inside of this round, especially now he's been hurt by missing that jump up onto the console. That's one frag back, or not quite. Down to 2 HP for Sugar. The MP9 against the unarmored opponent ultimately will just rip through.
But AVE able to convert those follow-ups after the pistol is always nice on that CT side. Getting that 3-0 start. Now we'll see Entropiq with the full buy coming through. You can see Alien straight onto that AWP. Hasn't found a frag yet. Can hope to do so in this round with it. But you got Waterfalls, the ex-Quantum Bellator Fire player from way back. On the other side with his AWP, so it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a bit of a duel that I'm not sure who's going to get the better of it. Elian, I'd usually say would be the stronger one, but I mean, yeah, a bit of a. I don't want to say mediocre because it feels harsh saying mediocre, but it wasn't his best performance over on Nuke on that first map against Akuma. So there could be openings, and Sevilla has already found a first kill. Galil works well for him as he takes Forrester out of action. Another player who actually had a really good Nuke performance is now 0-4. Hasn't found much of anything at all so far in this map so far, and not going to be able to find anything this round as Ellie wants to look over the smoke and a little bit of a peek. That's a great shot to find. Equalizes it into a 4-on-4 and takes that AVE AWP out of action.
Brings it into the 4-on-4, like you mentioned. Don't be confused by the top right where it says 4-on-5. That is, the cake is a lie.
Yeah.
But into the B site, it looks like Entropiq are ready to go, and immediately they're going to be finding themselves in fairly contentious positions here with mostly Poya, who's sitting up on the rafters. They do have a flank coming on in, though, from Krad, and that can throw a huge spanner in the works now as Poya feels massively uncomfortable and inevitably taken down. Sugar and Ragin, likely as not now. Now they have to concede this B site. Just going to walk away from this one. Try and save the weaponry that they've got. Ragin has got a fair amount of money as well, so they can give this a fair whack in the next round if they can save this M4. And Sugar, too, will be able to drop out another weapon on top of that. So Entropiq will hunt just a little bit. I think Krad may be in for a momentary payday. Now, with Ragin being the only person to save an M4, it does suck a little bit for the AVE side here. Entropiq would like to get rid of this one from him, but I think it may be too risky.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the economy. Ragin can drop this M4 to a teammate. Probably Poria could buy himself an M4 and get another M4 on top of that. So he could drop to both Waterfalls and Poria. Sevilla and Sugar can buy themselves, so they can get a pretty solid buy here. And they'll actually get the AWP for Waterfalls instead, so the M4 extra goes to Sevilla. And yeah, it's a pretty solid buy. Like, that's not too bad. That one saved M4 makes this one possible. But Entropiq, they'll be looking to try and ruin that economic situation now with another win here. That's all you really need. AVE's economy is now on the breaking point. Elian wants to try and find an opening fight against Poria, but instead he'll just sit back for the time being. Doesn't want to get caught early on. Entropiq just hoping that AVE go a little bit aggressive. And I mean, I don't blame them. You've got plenty of time in a round. You don't have to do something straight away. Now Ragin might be on for potential spam through this smoke. A couple players over towards Squeaky. He wants to go for it, but Nickelback is just going to remove his head instead. I don't think he even got a bullet off in that spray before he got his head clipped clean off. And now Entropiq with that man advantage, it's exactly what they wanted, exactly what they needed. As now they can set up a bit of utility towards the yard where no one is actually going to be providing any cover. You do have Waterfalls up towards Heaven with the AWP. That Molly, unfortunately, gets extinguished. So there's not going to be any issue for Entropiq passing through, but does Waterfall spot anything? I don't think so. He's just going to back away. They'll know that there's probably somebody down towards Secret, and well, there's a few players down towards Secret, George.
More than a few, Dan. The whole friggin' team. It's just Forrester who's not, and he's going to make his way down there sooner rather than later. He's just basically hanging back for a sec, just to cut rotations if anybody tries to follow them down here, which seems like he will not be gifted the same luxury of doing so. And it almost looks like here that AVE are not interested, Dan.
Yeah.
I think they know their money's a little bit scuppered, so they're just going to go in and big chill over in the A site. And I don't think there's going to be really any rationale here to try and hunt too hard, as they're now making their way into lobby for some further coverage. They may walk into Forrester. If they go onto the roof, then they may definitely find Forrester sooner rather than later in a relatively uncomfortable position. He knows they're going to be about here somewhere, so may just go for a bit of a wide peek and spots one on top of the silo. Not able to finish that frag straight away, but does get it in the end. And now with some more damage done because of the bomb detonation, Forrester may feel a little bit bold and brash to go for a peek, but in the end thinks better of it. So 3 players kept alive for AVE. Hard to say that's a bad situation for them, to be honest. I mean, despite losing the round, to keep 3 players going almost gives you enough validity here to go for a purchase again. It'll likely as not have to be drops out towards MP9s or FAMASs, more so the MP9s, I'd imagine. But an eco here for the remaining 2 players with these 3 weapons up is still good in its own right. You've still got a lot of danger, a lot of potency and lethality. So I don't think it's terrible by any means. It's just going to have to be a question as to how quickly can Entropiq get themselves moving and can break this economy back down once it starts again. Elian, lightning quick responses. 1 player, 2 players, in fact, inside of the ramp room. They might think it's all open and over now, but it's not to be the case. Elian and Waterfall trading blows, and all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 3. Unfortunately for this 3 versus 3, 2 of those players for the CT side are the players with USPs and nothing else. So a lot of this is going to have to be done by Waterfalls at the back of this A site. And if they go B, well, unfortunately, they completely circumvent him and make him a moot point in this round, but they're not going to do that. They're going to give him all of the frags, all of the opportunities, and potentially yet still one more with Raging pinching on him behind. Not able to adjust quickly enough. Krad ends up falling foul to it, and a 1 versus 1 ensues with Sviat now trying to make his way around this site, try and catch up with Lackey, who unfortunately for him has already dipped in towards this B site, planting the bomb as we speak. Sviat may soon be a little late to the party, but feels like he can win this. Has the time, has no kit admittedly, but also does have the AK. Unfortunately, the lack of armor may also prove to be a bit of a flashpoint for him, and Lackey knows it too, as he will swing back out for the frag and lay to rest all of the AVE players for the first round in 2.
That was a dangerous round. AVE almost getting it done in that one, and now they can actually go for a pretty solid rebuy here. Because obviously $2,400 loss bonus from that previous round, plus the sort of 2,000 they had per player. That's a solid buy. No AWP, obviously, but yeah, a decent stack of M4s, a decent stack of utility. Entropiq having to reinvest a lot. They still have pretty decent cash in reserve, so there's not too much worry for them. They can sustain a loss or 2 here. And now, Lackey wants to try and push further forwards. You see Sevilla already in towards the secret stairs room. Sugar just peeking over the smoke. He has a very nice angle. He is going to drop a smoke though and just back away. Feels a little bit vulnerable in some regards, and I don't blame him. A nice opening shot from Radiant. The flank from main, not able to secure a kill. Krad, however, does get the first for the Entropiq side. However, there's just so many bodies in towards this A site for AVE that it's really a struggle. And Waterfall, he's just going to clean it them up. They line up for him, and it's all up to Elian. A 1 versus 4, and his first shot tags Waterfalls, but it's through the edge of the door, and it does not find the kill. Waterfalls 4 in that round, upgrades to an AWP. A huge, huge sequence from him. And AVE retake the lead now, George.
They do indeed, Dan. They take the lead back. They're not going to give Entropiq any time to get rolling with that one. And that round to me was a bit of a... Oh, I'm going to be honest with you. A bit of a disaster from Entropiq. Why are you letting yourself get caught with 4 players in towards a hut? Surely there's other ways that you could have gone about that round. I feel like most of the time it's in the preparation for how you can come up on top of many of these situations, and the preparation there was just not on. As a result, now Entropiq 4-3 down. Have an opportunity here to try and clap back. Porio once again is going to be forced back. Waterfalls is going to try and come in to assist as quickly as possible, but fortunately not going to have anything to shoot at just yet because Entropiq are not really interested. They're just trying to garner a little bit of space, trying to garner a little bit of time. And now they're going to be interested. Now they're going to re-register their interest in this B site. Poria is going to be very acutely aware of this any moment. Waterfall's actually backed away as well, so I'm not sure what information they have over this one. I'm sure Poria will be hearing a lot of stuff going on above him, but needs to be careful of what's going on around him now. Entropiq don't even look too steadfast in their commitment towards this B site. It looks like they may yet still even want to rotate away. Already, first engagements down on this B site with Poria, and it's not going well for either of these two players, as they're not really able to register any damage into one another. In the end, it looks like on the A side, Sviat will be successful in his engagement against Lackey, and this might now initiate a rotation of that frag onto Poria at the B site. Unfortunately, though, the rotation path is just going to be so badly obscured. Sugar is able to spray through the smoke and grab Forrester, and again, it just seems like a bit of a cluster, a bit of a comedy of errors from Entropiq. They leave Crad down on towards that B site to get all the work done, trying to run interference, but at the same time, they go before he even makes his presence felt. They know it's only one player down there, and now in the 4-on-2, the round is over, and Entropiq are forced to save these two weapons, and AVE get up to 5.
Shuffling some AKs around as well there, so AVE can carry as many forward as they possibly can. It's now 5-3. Waterfalls is 9-3, just so you're aware as well. He's having a great start to this game. Got that huge 4K round as well. That obviously helped out, but it's been looking pretty sharp nonetheless. Elian, again, isn't really having massive impacts. Has had a few nice shots, but hasn't found any consistency to find his team openings. And now, with a bit of a poor effort at a gun round here, you have a couple of Galeals, an AK that's already found an opening. Poria has just been obliterated by Crad over by the ramp room. Nickelback is left on just a deagle and could potentially try and push to recover that weapon, but he's going to be guarded by Waterfalls. As over towards the yard, a few of these Entropiq players looking to maybe find an opening, and Sviat is posted up in towards the secret room again. Elian is aware of this potential. He really thinks there could be a play around that corner. And he would be right in that assumption. As they push forward, it's an easy frag. Flashbang is absolutely perfect from Nickelback there. Shot from Waterfalls is perfect though, George, because he is still on a tear with that AWP. His 10th kill of the game, but in a 2 versus 4 with Rasian. They're actually going to go back up towards the A site, Entropiq. And Rasian's up there. He's going to find 2. We need to take him out of action. Elian misses his shot. Forrester finally takes him down. But a 1v1, Waterfalls, all that remains. Forrester's going to drop down into the fence, and it's surely going to be Waterfalls securing it. A huge round. Rasian with the 3K from the upper site just completely dismantles Entropiq, and a 6th round comes through for the AVE side. Look at these shots coming through. No chance for the first 2. Elian missing the shot. Did he even fire off a shot?
I don't know.
Sure.
And Entropiq just looks so unsure of themselves, Dan. They look so unsure. They had the previous round with Crad down on the B site, and then they going up towards A. The timing was just completely off between that 2-prong coordination. It just didn't happen. This time, they doubt the fact that B site is clear for God knows what reason, and then decide to bookend it back up towards the A site in a moment of madness, and just leave Ragin counting his lucky stars. I'm pretty sure at that point in the round, those 2 players in Ragin and Waterfalls were ready to just save that round away. They weren't moving. They were making no effort to. And yet then Ragin finds 3 frags and Waterfalls is like, all right, guess I'll just take this round win then. If somebody wants to drop into an AWP inside events. Yeah, sure. AVE get their 6th now. Entropiq just look so confused, so unsure, so uncertain. Needs some commitment now. I don't know what this timeout is related to, by the way. It's not tactical.
It's technical, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know the reason, but yeah, it's technical. So
hopefully it's not going to be a long one.
I'd hope not, but you never know. We have a couple bits of board up for the Entropiq side, so I assume they'll probably just go for a bit of a half buy here. Economy's still not really in a good position for them, but they'll get a Tech 9 for Forest. I'm assuming maybe a couple of pistols for Elian and Crad. Anything more than that is probably a bit too much spending.
I think a few players are experiencing ping issues at the moment.
Okay.
I don't really know what that means. I feel like that can be a bit
No?
ambiguous at times.
Well, I mean, I'd assume it's just some players lagging, basically.
Yeah, hopefully it's not going to
Yeah.
be too long. Hopefully we'll
We've
get
had
an
our fair
ETA.
share of texts.
Get an ETA. People will be happy in the end.
Yeah.
They usually are.
Yeah. I'll be happy because it means we'll be able to watch a bit more Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's the aim game. That's the end game here, isn't it? That's the one. Should be time to go any second, though. I think players have just taken a time out to see if their ping will stabilize, and then they're just going to kind of roll on from this moment forward. So hopefully we'll be all okay.
Here we go. Ready to get back going. You can see the disparity in the buys here, George. You've got plenty of weaponry for the AVE side that will put Sugar on an MP9 as well, just to maybe farm a little bit of extra cash because they know that this Entropiq side is going to be on a sort of low buy. You've got a few Deagles through, a bit of upgraded pistols. Not really any armor either. Lackey and Forrester do have some Kevlar, but that's about it. So that MP9 could really farm up a decent chunk of change. Lackey, though, has already found an opener. Eagle in hand has removed Rasian from this round. It looks like the ramp room could be under a bit of contest. Seems like Entropiq are a little bit of a lucky in. Now Sugar wants to go aggressive, and he's already found a kill. Can't escape, though, the Glocks. Gonna burst him down, and now a man advantage for Entropiq. No guns collected. But a man down the vents could prove to be an interesting factor in this one. Does Sviat anticipate that if he drops down? Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not, Dan, but there are engagements going on across the map at the moment. Two taking place, I believe, at any one given time. Waterfall's engaging with the player up top, of which he's lost a fair amount of HP. And now Poria engaging with the rest of the team as they make contact onto this B site. Poria going to take the first frag. That drops the bomb right in front. Krad has to swing into it, and that drops the frag at the bomb right in front of Poria now, leaving Nickelback to be the last player to be severed on up. And AVE get away with a 7th. It was really clean there, as a matter of fact. Poria just didn't really have to do much. Stood resolute in his beliefs and steadfast and managed to get it all cleaned on up, Dan.
Not bad at all. A good little anti sort of eco coming through in the end. I mean, a couple kills found, obviously, but yeah, pretty solid from AVE, all things considered. As a 4-round lead. Sound seems to be a little off there. But
Right. Wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. Seems like we're restored to some normalcy now as this Entropiq side really need to find a little bit more from this T side. Like ooh, Rasian, bit of a missmoke, but if you come away from this T side with only a few rounds, you're really going to struggle on the defense. I think you need to have like maybe 5 or 6 rounds on T side generally. I think that's really what you're aiming for. And it's what Entropiq achieved in that first match against Akuma, and they actually came out with just a slim win. So I think you'd be looking for more of the same here. But right now, AVE are really looking strong and already an opening kill courtesy of Waterfall. Sviat is just looking menacing with an A1S as well. A clean little slide on. Takes down Forrester, and now Entropiq down by 2. Potential for AVE to find 8 and maybe 9 as well off the back of this.
It would be big. It would be really big. I mean, for me, I would anticipate Entropiq to win this match rather handily against AVE. But AVE right now, against their map in Na'Vi, they're proving here again against Entropiq that they have come to play. And once again, they're still picking Entropiq apart here. And you're absolutely right with what you say, Dan. This could be one of those situations shortly where we find ourselves looking at a couple of freebies for AVE in many of these rounds because of the finances just not being there for the Entropiq side. Thankfully, they are just doing their best efforts to keep themselves alive despite the onslaughts that are being thrown their way. Crad as a player up top. Quick adjustment onto Raging. That's a nice shot. Shame Crad's not the AWPer, and that doesn't really bode well for the rest of the half for Alien, for example. But even still, I think that's a really strong performance now from AVE to get up to 8 rounds on their CT side. Any better, and obviously they're going to be in a great position, considering as that Nuke has repeatedly been touted as a CT-sided map. And any massive leads that you can get on the CT side only put you in good stead for when that T side rolls around. Let's say, for example, that AVE are able to continue this one on, get themselves up to 12-3, just entertain that rather crazy thought for a moment. All it takes is then a pistol round victory and the 2-round conversion after that, and AVE have basically got themselves a map win.
Yeah, they're not far off. That's for sure. And Entropiq calling a timeout, a much needed timeout, I think. As they'll try and go all in on this next round. It's not looking good, though. They obviously do have that AWP for Alien. A couple of Galeals bought up. Just a Mac 10 for Lackey, and obviously Nickelback with an AK as well. It's not a very nice buy, but we'll see. They need something here to try and bail them out, because a 5-round deficit now. AVE looks super, super slick on the CT side, and maybe Alien can provide them a little bit of room to work with here. Entropiq, they need that ult to start finding some opening shots. We saw a little bit of a glimmer earlier on this map when he found that opening over towards the ramp room. It looked like a nice shot, but hasn't really found much since then. And Sevilla is already getting an opening kill. Easy for him. Just towards the back of Garage. Player creeps into his crosshair. Easy. And now it's going to be Entropiq trying to explode in towards his A site. But Waterfall's towards the vents. Oh, this could be a huge angle. Here's the scope to his left. Elliot is blindsided. A missed shot from Waterfall. Somehow Nickelback's still alive. But not for much longer. It's only Crad. And it's only AVE who find the frags. It's 9 on the board now. Entropiq's force buy just comes crumbling down.
Feels bad, man. Feels really bad, man, for any Entropiq fans out there in the Twitch chat right now. AVE are just cakewalking your boys. Dan, what do you do at this point? What needs to change for Entropiq here on this T side? Because, yeah, I know it's the T side. Yeah, I know it's not the preferred side. Yeah, all of that. Okay. I think, if anything, perfectly encapsulated how this game has gone for Entropiq, that is it. Thankfully, they are actually able to get into the B site here relatively freely. They've only had to pay the toll of Forrester for all of that trouble. Now, no way is that actually a wallbang spot. No, I've never seen that before.
He almost gets the kill off of it as well. Lackey left on 9 HP. You're going to see everybody doing that match. I've never seen that in my life, and unfortunately it doesn't pan out for the kill, but I mean, nice to know, I guess.
Pans out for a shed load of damage, and now that leaves Elian and Lackey to try and clutch this one, and already Lackey has managed to get one, but it is without trade, as everybody else has fallen around him, leaving just Raging to defuse the bomb, with Spiat there to drop him an AK in quick succession, keeping the fun alive for AVE as they find 10 now. And while a few rounds ago I was saying that, you know, a 12-3 half might be a little bit too far of a fantasy, actually looking very, very plausible at this moment in time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've got AVE into this really strong position. These rounds are looking super, super clean. I mean, yeah, they lose a few plays in that last round, but I mean, everybody has a misstep or two. In general, in these gun rounds, AVE are securing openings. There's been a little bit of fight back from Entropiq, but not enough to really warrant any sort of big successes. Sophia's actually been spotted over towards the secret steps. He's got good peace of mind there to just escape out of that one. Drops his smoke, knows that he's worth more than a smoke grenade to his team, and now it's up towards Entropiq as they push in towards this A site. Finally, some openings go their way, but they're still raging in towards the hut that they haven't checked for. They're going to go to the plant. They're going to get it down, and Raging can't quite deny it. Only gets the first kill. Poirier looking for shots. and he's trying to get them, but he's got Sviat for support, and they have brought it into that 2-on-2 as Sviat finds another, and now it's just Crad alone in the site. There's so little HP for these last two AVE players that Crad might actually win this one out. A single bullet can do it, and it will secure the round. Finally, Entropiq get themselves onto a fourth, but man, a 1v2 after you get a double opening in towards the site. Entropiq almost dropping that one.
They are consistently fumbling the bag here, as the cool kids say. I've been told.
Yeah.
That's a cool kid
I've
phrase.
heard that said.
Yeah. They are fumbling the bag, and it is just not good. It's not good, Dan. Anywho, AVE here now are looking to try and crack on.
want to get themselves down here. And Lackey is still in position over towards Dark, still wanting to find a little bit of success. That smoke makes life a little bit more difficult, but a little bit of foot spotted. You've walked a little bit too far into that. Sugar spotted as well. Lackey just cleaning them up. It's all up to Rage and a 1 versus 5. And I mean, yeah, you can go up to the A site. There's nothing for you there, though, my friend. Gonna try and work his way all the way around towards Secret and come behind one of these players and maybe find a little bit of something to work with. He's picked up a smoke. Hell yeah. That's exactly what I'd want in a 1v5 as well. Go it. Yeah, nice. There you go.
Love that.
A little bit of extra cash, if nothing else, and a little bit of style points.
It always feels good to get a knife, even if you lose the round. Sorry, it's one of those mental boons, isn't it? You just, no, I've been knifed in the back. I can't believe it. Oh, it's so annoying. It's a desk slammer. Get knifed, and Entropiq are well, hopefully not going to be slamming their desk just yet. It is 10-6. They definitely have plenty of opportunities now to come back into this one with that pistol round victory. So with that being said, XM purchased up for Forrester. He's going to likely as not take that one on top of the hut and wait for a few players to start to spark their way out through door. In fact, he may even just take it into the hut right away, which I don't hate either.
Yeah.
It's the best angle for it, really. We saw a Mag 7 from Entropiq find the final round against Akuma earlier in that very position, so why not give it a go? Elian is about to be spoiled for choice outside here on who he can take pot shots at. Already finds himself the first frag, and anything that he can do to get himself back into this game a little bit will be extremely wanting for the Entropiq side. They just want to have their star man back firing off, but unfortunately he's already missing a bunch of shots. Waterfall's yet to be taken down as well. But they're poking and prodding, and finally Elian is now going to get himself into it, but taken down by a Glock at that range. Poirier just has his number there. Now Nickelback will rotate into the position, instantly take away Poirier like Elian should have done. And this round should be a formality for Sugar and Raging just to hit the deck any moment from now. As the XM is rotating around, unfortunately it's about to miss out on Raging. I think Crad will be the beneficiary of this frag. Not going to allow the bomb plant to get off. Surely not going to allow the bomb plant to get off. Yeah, if he knifes, though, the bomb plant gets off, and that really helps the T side. So it's for the greater good, Dan.
Nah, but imagine getting in the head of Raging there, because he was the one who knifed in the previous round. You knife him back.
Okay, yeah, I don't think the mental...
Go Sigma male. Go Sigma male on them.
I don't think the mental game is as important there. I'm going to be real with you.
I want it... I'm... Screw the economy. Just knife all the time. Yeah. No, please don't. That would be horrific. As still... That XM is in play. It's now Crad who's going to be wheeling it, George. So, shifted hands. Forrester got a kill with it in that previous round. Extra $900 for him. Now, Crad is hoping to be benefiting from a little bit of the extra cash. We'll have to wait and see on that one. As Entropiq just closing up the gap a little bit here. But is the AKs out? As AVE look to try and find 11. Raging, this could be a great position. Oh, that flashbang is absolutely perfect. Nickelback can't do anything about that one. He has his head blown off, and now he's going to be pushing deeper as well, Raging. Could be coming behind Elian. Oh, the timing. I don't think Lackey spotted him, and now he has a freebie on towards Elian. A huge frag coming through. Flashbang out, looking for more. Lackey's gotten himself closed in on the right, though, and there surely should be a frag for the Entropiq man, as it is down to the low HP coming through, but with teammates still going down. Lackey has a lot to do. Him and Crad, the last two alive. Waterfall's catching him towards the yard. It's now just the auto shotgun. A 1 versus 4. If you can find anything from this, that would be great. I think he wants to try and catch Waterfalls coming from the secret stairs. Instead, he'll be able to find severe upgrades into the AK and maybe just wants to save this. I wouldn't really try and test this round. I'd just get out there with the AK. Economy not perfect. You save this weapon, you can probably go for a pretty decent buy, all things considered.
Definitely the only outcome really that Crad can hope for here. He's not really in with a chance of winning this round now. So just big chilling his way to victory here. But it's really good for AVE to not let this game get too far away from them early on in this second half, Dan. The reason I say that is because it could have been all too easy here for AVE to concede that and go 10-8, and then it comes 10-10 by the time that you've lost another gun round and an eco. So you find yourself in a lot of trouble. But AVE are making sure they're putting their foot down early on. They're going, no, I will not lose a silly force buy. No, I will not lose to this first gun round. We are going to do it. We will fight them everywhere we can, and we'll keep pushing on through. We only need 6 rounds from this T side, which sounds like a lot compared to what Entropiq were able to do. But in reality, with that pistol round and everything coming through and getting back early into it against Entropiq here, if you're able to now beat them in this round and completely break their economy, you're going to be fine. Crad, however, is not going to let that happen. Yeah, like you say, just headshotting around and Elian's grabbing more. So AVE's good fortune in the previous round is going to come very abruptly to an end here any second down. Lackey keeping his powder dry over towards the ramp room, of which he will capitalize, and Sviat is left wondering what happened to the rest of his team, because now the bomb is not even in his possession. He's got to move. He's going to get hunted down one way or another, down 24 HP. Elian might go for a peek and will successfully take that peek away. 11-8 now for Entropiq, as they are chipping away ever so slightly, just trying to bring that one back for themselves.
And this wasn't really fair, was it? Brad just spraying through, collects 2 players through that squeaky door smoke. And yeah, at least I think from that point, AVE, there's not much you can really do. Once you're down by 2, you're sort of in a weird position where, okay, fair enough. He just shot 2 of us through a smoke. Guess we're just going to have to try and do what we can. And now they're left on a really, really awkward buy. Just pistols going through, and they're just trying to charge through the flames. But Crad is a monster, and he's secured 3 delightful frags. Just Sviat remains 1 versus 4. If you find anything from this, that would be very, very delightful, but I don't think he will. As he tries to make a dash for the vents, it's Crad who cuts him down. 4th kill in the round for him. He's having a great game. 22-11.
Well, I'm glad that he is, because the rest of his team aren't really. Aside from Lackey, Elian, Forrester, and Nickelback all together, not really having the best of fun, are they? I mean, all on those single digits. It's okay, though. I mean, we saw this from Gambit, where they had 2 players in Shiro and Inters who were actually doing quite well in the first half, and then in the second half they were actually met by 1 more player, which was Nafani. So here, and maybe if Entropiq can get the same thing going, where they've already got Lackey and Crad doing reasonably well, they just need 1 more player to join the party, and we could be seeing Entropiq bringing this one back and taking the victory. The CT side has been potent today, and it may yet still get to be more that way.
Certainly, maybe. As AVE not getting that AWP through, but neither do Entropiq. It's just it's just rifles all around. Nobody's going for that AWP, and Nickelback is pushed aggressive out towards the yard. I'm not sure if he will have been hurt. There is a player around the corner, but I think Elian is just going to try and run a bit of a diversion for his teammate. It seems like Sviat is really wary. He was looking over from the top of the silo, seeing if he could spot anyone, but I don't think he does. I think Nickelback is able to reside in the position of safety, and yeah, Sviat doesn't anticipate anymore. There's a play there as he gets the opening kill. Rajin, however, has already made his way over towards those secret steps. He might be able to catch Nickelback trying to escape. Awkward fight, but he does win it out in the end. So an even 4-on-4, able to bring it back. As the Entropiq side, well, still looking to get themselves into double digits with this round.
Double digits, best case scenario, and already best case start as they find the first frag to bring it back into the 3-on-3. Admittedly, it does get traded away. The information is still there. Elian now rotating back up into the A site to further assist his teammates. Takes a little bit of damage that was a bit unnecessary on the way in, but Forrester, wow, where have I seen this before? Forrester getting aggressive in towards lobby. Never have I ever, as Forrester finds himself 2 frags. Raging now last player standing, down in the vents. He too is just going to be pushed away. Too much pressure coming on in. Wall bang no less by Elian, and that's the 10th there for Entropiq. They are rolling now on this CT side down. Only 1 round so far for AVE, and it was a short-lived fever dream for them just 3 rounds ago. Now they have no real money, so they're going to have to take some form of an eco or something here, half buy maybe, min buy, as Forrester just really did put this round to bed with those 2 quick frags inside a lobby. He is just the master of pushing into that particular area of the map in the mid round. It's what he's done so well again in the game against Kuma, and it's what he's doing so well here on the CT side against AVE. Now, I will say if Forrester can be the player to step up by consistently finding results with that, then that's going to be a good sign. That's an area of the map that's already got complete autonomy and control over it. All you need is Elian to get something outside here as well, because that was their weakness against Akuma. Forrester, unfortunately, is the player to fall here, and now this leaves it open in a 4-on-4. Firepower, big disparity, though.
Yeah, I mean, an AK is recovered, which is nice, but there's just so many weapons for Entropiq still to work with here, and almost guaranteed an 11th at this point. Almost guaranteed an 11th. I'm not going to say totally guaranteed. I know where that leads you to. Leads you down a deep, dark path that I don't really want to go there. Zillion just wants to post himself up towards the ramp now. Already found that opening pick towards the yard. Now wants to do the same over towards the ramp. And I'm not sure if he'll get a chance, because it looks to me like AVE are thinking about a split in towards this A site. You can get waterfalls deep. And Lackey is aware of the potential of a player pushing round through the yard, but actually there's going to be a few players now heading over towards this ramp. They might try and split in towards this B side instead. I'm not sure what they plan to do, but it's going to be interesting as Alien spots out at first, gets the first shot, looking for more. Second chance not going to connect, and he's actually wary of waterfalls. Oh, he spots him out, misses the shot as he unscopes at just the wrong time, and he's looking for more, but there's just too many players around him, needed support, and Lackey is just going to deny that bomb plant with 10 seconds left. There's nobody near enough to get it planted again, and they'll just save. They'll just save the AK and an AWP. Not bad for AVE, all things considered, with a round like that.
No, not bad at all, Dan. Oh, dearie me. Where have I seen this one before, though? A team down by a considerable amount on their first side, and then coming back. Dan, where have I seen it?
Yeah. Don't know, almost every match since.
Oh, every match today. Every match today. Every match on Meisterschaft on Monday. It's just... Oh, it's all over the place. Today, on this week, Counter-Strike is a game of comebacks. There is no way that you can just close out a game in which you have the early advantage. Elian is going to make sure of that this time around as he grabs yet another frag outside. In fact, may have even spotted one more out there as well. Looks like he wants to go for it, but catches a flashbang to the eyes just at the inopportune moment. Doesn't matter though, does it, when Lackey's finding more frags through smoke? There we go, Entropiq now not slowing down. Finally having some people to come to play, and most of the time here it's starting to look like it's going to be Elian to get that signature vintage good performance coming out. But unfortunately this time around he is going to be laid to rest. That's Waterfalls outside who gets the better of him. Just stuck around a little bit too long inside of Garage there. Got a little too greedy, and now Waterfalls fully adjusting from the left to the right. Catches Nickelback as well to bring it back into a 3-on-3, and potentially still might yet get one more. 2-on-2 now. Lackey thankfully able to trade himself away. But Poria and Waterfalls on a good spree so far in this round already, makes for a pretty palpable threat to come on in. Oh yeah. This is an Avengers level threat, as Waterfalls is scarpering his way back around the back to rendezvous with Poria.
Where do they decide to go, though? 25 seconds to work with. Are they going to try and push towards the ramp? That's an interesting strat. If there was any resistance over in that direction, they'd be really, really scuppered. But I think they should be fine. And actually, well, this could be interesting. What's the timing going to be like? Are they going to be able to deny this plant? 7 seconds on the clock as they'll go for a plant inside of the smoke. A Waterfall to try and cover. He actually gets dinked inside of the smoke. Forrester finishes off the kill, but bomb planted is the big factor. No, and Forrester, oh, he doesn't expect Waterfalls to push him. Just a little bit aggressive there. And yeah, the ace from Waterfalls, a huge round from him. Finally gets some sustenance going for this AVE side, but it's all him, nothing else found by his teammates. They can't rely on that consistently.
Don't believe it. Waterfalls has to pull out an ace in order to get his team through that round, and now they're gonna have to take a timeout for it. The only player surviving, of course, the AWP player. And now, of course, money not going to be too fantastic for them. Again, though, this is going to be one of those crucial rounds, Dan. You know what kind of round it is? Squeaky bomb time kind of round.
Yeah.
It's also one of those rounds, I'm afraid, where it gets to about that 11th or 10th round of the half. We're at the 9th in this one, as a matter of fact. But it's that kind of territory. When you get 12 to 11, when you get 13 to 12, something like that, where both teams can be broken financially with just a round win. So a big round here for both teams. Entropiq going to call a timeout of their own. And they're going to talk things through. Need a little bit more time just to figure this one out. And I don't blame them either. They both understand how important of a round this is. No residual cash for anybody, really, except for Sugar and Waterfalls. But they don't even have anything that's worth speaking about. Negligible amounts of residual cash. Entropiq, on the flip side of things, do have those 4 M4s and the AWP. But is it going to be enough?
Well, we'll find out, won't we, George? We will find out. Waterfalls is going to have that AWP. A huge round prior from him. 5 kills, the ace for him to carry his team through that one. He's going to look for an opening already. He wants to find the opening frag, and he's caught Elian. He's winning out in this duel time and time again now against Elian, and has already served up a delicious treat for AVE to work with here. Nickelback wants to try and find an opening. Can't quite. Nobody in the vicinity of that spray for him to collect, so it all lands silently on the wall. But Forrester, look at this. He's aggressive towards the lobby again. Doesn't spot anything out, just as Waterfall starts to have a look back in. Timing is going to be crucial, and Waterfalls gets it. A second kill now for him. 2 for 2.
7 straight kills, by the way.
Yeah, fair enough. He's loving it.
Nobody.
He really wants this win.
Nobody able to take him down yet. In these 2 rounds, nobody's even able to take a frag away from him. Waterfalls taking matters into his own hands. Oh, he has an opportunity here. Someone just poked their head out up in heaven. Takes the shot at it, but then elects to back away instead. Now as his team start to hanker down in towards this B site, Lackey rotates his way on in, but it's going to be very, very important here for him to find at least one of these opening frags. Oh, don't turn the wrong way at the wrong time. Okay, there's your first chance, but Sugar takes it away from you. Sugar, honey, iced tea. It's all going wrong for Entropiq now, as the B site has completely fallen. It's Crad and Nickelback, now just Crad. And oh, crumbs. Crad is going to be all kinds of screwed any moment. As soon as he reveals himself by taking any shots here, he will go down like a sack of bricks. Crad's going to hide. It's the only thing he can do. They need this M4, Dan, because Entropiq, they have no money. They have nothing to play with into the next round if this M4 doesn't come through. And even if it does, it won't be enough to really justify a full buy for them. They'll just have to stick with the M4 and nothing else. And that's far beyond what you want. Be way behind optimal. And now with Crad just sat, I think he might be able to survive this round. If he does get a little bit too curious for his own good, then he's risking himself. So safety is the best policy. I think he'll be allowed to just keep this one going.
But yeah, as you mentioned, though, the economy is just absolutely dire.
Yeah.
You have to go for the, well, what's the loss bonus? 2,400 for Entropiq. You could potentially just save this one. Go for a full buy in the next with, what, about $4,400. It won't be great. You'll get rifles and a little bit of utility through, but it's not going to be all a perfect buy. You definitely won't have the AWP unless you can salvage something extra from this round and an aggressive stance towards the yard. Nickelback wanted to find an opening. He does decent damage, just can't find the killers. There's a little bit more than he maybe anticipated there. Few players ready to receive his threat, and he just backs away. Values his life, which is a good thing to do.
I value your life, Dan. I think it's a very good thing to do to value your own life here. It'd be a very nice thing to do for Crad to do as well. With that one weapon that they've got into this round, this one real potent threat, it already finds Raging. That's a great start for them here. But Entropiq have a lot more work to do than just that. Of course, it does put the pressure onto AVE a little bit more now, though, as they've got to just try and find these players playing off angles like Elian is about to. Surely this goes unchecked and Elian's able to profit from it. He gets one. That's still the man advantage maintained here for Entropiq. Also, weapons down towards Secret, which aren't going to be siphoned back in towards T territory. As it is, they are actually collectible. If I'm not mistaken. There's one AK that should be down there. Now Poirier's got to be very careful of Nickelback. Will check it though, thankfully, doing their due diligence. But there's another player up in the top of the site in Crad they need to be very worried about because time is of the essence and the bomb has been dropped. Crad has done it. He has brought this round back from the brink all by his lonesome, and Waterfalls dies after time. Oh no, it's a disaster for AVE. It's an absolute disaster of absolutely cataclysmic proportions. They come into that round against one real weapon, and they're able to do no damage to it.
Oh no, AVE. What a horrible situation to be in now. They will reinvest. Waterfalls gets that AWP backup dropped over by Sugar, I believe. So there's at least that to work with. But there's just almost a heartbreaking tale there as it all falls apart for AVE in the last few seconds. And now Entropiq have at least something to work. Raging's looking down towards these secret stairs. Elian might be the point of contact, and what's the timing going to be like? Elian, she pops in towards the vent. Might be on for the kill, and he does get it. Good start for Entropiq as they look to try and find a tie game once more at 13-13. And Elian's just going to reposition himself. Knows that the more elusive he can be, the more damage he can do with this weapon. Despite not having the greatest of gains, you know he can still be very, very impactful for his team in these last few rounds. And that flashbang gives up his position, but Poirier's found a kill towards the ramp, and that's a huge one to find. It's Lackey taken out of action. Nickelback needs the kills, and he can only find one before Sugar and Waterfalls. They chime in with kills of their own. Elian, he wasn't able to find anything more over towards that secret stairs position, but the bomb being denied yet again. A little bit of a booty showing, and Crad will collect. It's now just Waterfalls alone, a 1 versus 2. And he wants to go aggressive to find Forrester, wants to get this shot through, and he will get it. First kill out of the 2 found, and Waterfalls is feeling hot. He's got success, and he's switched over to the AK-47. Crad now in that same position where Waterfalls just found that first kill from. Needs to find the shots, and he will get it. It's a close one, but it's AVE falling short at just the final marker. Waterfalls can't do it again for his team. Crad will get the defuse, get the 13th, and it's going to break AVE's economy for the most part. That bomb plant definitely helps out. The bomb plant helps out, but do you go for the full investment? Or do you take a bit of a mini-buy and go for the full investment next round? Allow Entropiq to 14 and then try and fight 16-14.
I don't know what the right call is here, Dan, and it seems neither do AVE. They're just going to go for it. They're going to lick a stamp and they're going to send it. Full send. You got no other choice. Might as well give it a go, right? Because this game's been a coin flip so far, so might as well coin flip one of the important rounds. And Entropiq are not going to let you have it. Nickelback has finally got some value as he finds 3. Can you believe it? The price is just right for the Nickel to score strong. Forrester finds 1 more. It is Nickelback to find 4 and 14 on the scoreboard for Entropiq. They waste AVE away inside of that round. AVE now have no idea what to do financially. They've got about $3,500 per player, which is the most awkward number possible for AVE to find themselves with. Do they buy? Do they half buy? Do they play for overtime? What do they do? I don't think even they they know here, and they're going to go for the half-buy. The Tech 9s, the upgraded pistols on the most part. That's what they're going to go for. That's their gambit. That's their final gambit for this game. This is the hill that they are going to die on.
I mean, at least it gives them a full buy in the next round.
Yeah,
they're basically allowing Entropiq to 15.
Well, Tech 9s, though, the win rate, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel like more often than not, you will see the Tech 9s winning out in a round like this. If you just go for one of those very quick pushes through, use your utility to blind up players, make life awkward, and just allow those Tech 9s to run rampant. But Forrester, in aggressive towards the hook, could completely play this round to waste. Flashbangs going past. Oh, he's just going to mow them down. The lawnmower's here to play, but Sugar and Raging are not going to quit this one out just yet. A 2-on-2, they answer back with flying colors, and now it's all up towards Alien and Lackey. Just an MP9 for Lackey. He was expecting this round to be a foregone conclusion. It looked like it would be, with Forrester finding the opening free. Now they could get themselves a bomb plant here. They're wary of the push. They want to see what these Entropiq players are going to do here. They've got Sugar pushed in deep, and I don't think Alien is going to expect this one if he takes a peek over, especially if Raging comes late and he spots him out. What does Alien decide to do? Needs his teammate for support, who's over towards events right now. 30 seconds on the clock, and now a smoke in towards the site is going to reveal the AVE intention. Sugar really wants his frag. Knows Alien's up there, and the flashbang isn't going to obscure his vision. He's able to cover his teammate while that plant comes down, and still a 2-on-2. But Alien is just so worried about taking this fight, and he should be. Needs Lackey to do something to divert their attention. You can see Sugar is just posted up, watching this angle, and Raging. Oh, that's a beautiful tap. USP out for Alien, and he might just do it with a USP. Oh, thought he was going to crater himself as well. He does jump on the defuse. 14 HP left. And Alien, the savior of this Entropiq side, but that force buy almost comes out with a 14th and a tie game. Timeout called. It's needed. I need it. Forrester, an exquisite spray down. It looked like the round was done right there, and a beautiful tap from Rager, but the USP from Alien. Somehow he gets it. Somehow he gets it.
I don't even want to believe anything anymore. This is the time now for AVE to get this force buy in. I mean, even then, it comes down to the half buy they go for with the Tech 9s, and they nearly win it. They nearly bring the round completely fleeting back, even after Forrester gets that 3K. I still can't believe what I'm seeing. Now the timeout has been finished off. It is match point here for Entropiq. I'm struggling to comprehend what I'm seeing, Dan, but Waterfalls is back on the AWP. He's had Alien's number on this one all game long, and he needs to have it again here. He needs to pull out another ace or another clutch or something. His team needs him now more than ever. Oh, it's such a strange situation to be in for AVE. They've been so close and yet so far, and even still, the money isn't fantastic for Entropiq. So even if they do lose this round, they're going to be in a weird situation for the final round of the game. As Waterfalls readies himself outside, he and Alien both ready to come to blows once more, Dan. It's been a while. It's been a while. These two teams have been slugging it out with each other, and now up the ladder, Sugar, he's going to go down swinging, as it's going to be Lackey to find the first death of the round. Entropiq giving away an advantage they did not need to go for. Usually it's Forrester going aggressive in towards lobby. A missed shot by Alien does just catch the sight of a player, though, as he previously gets unsighted by the smoke, as now Raging gets himself in garage, makes the retreat for Alien all that more difficult, as he can be caught out now at any given moment. Needs some support. I think he may have already just got back across in time now, so he is safe. But it's still a 5-on-4. In favor of AVE. Alien's rotating back into the A site. They're turtling up again, Dan. We saw this against Akuma. They just turtled up. They waited for the T's to come to them, and previously against Akuma, it worked in just this round at 13-15. It worked then. They're going to try it again now. 3 players inside of the A site. They are so desperately hoping it comes over here, because if not, it's all Crad, and he's got so much to do with that particular situation. 4 players will be staring him down, with 1 inevitably following up the rear, as now it looks like they are going to opt into the A site. They're going to handshake into Forrester, who's going to start revving up his chainsaw, ready to try and cut them down. Alien spots ahead. It's oh so close, and Forrester's got one more.
7 seconds.
Nickelback finishes the game, and it is 16-13.